together forcefully. Nigeria's behavior does not match the North, does not match the South. The West does not match the East. Let them go. They cannot hold it together. And Africans fear to talk about this. Our colonial boundaries are the ones bringing us the insecurity we see today. Christians being murdered on a daily basis. Moderate Muslims being killed. So what country is this, Peter? I just indeed, I don't have anything positive to say. Have you seen anything positive? You go with Nigerians to Dubai, they have a special line where they say you stand there and then you other Africans, you go this way quickly. So what type of, you want me to say Nigeria has got what? There's nothing there. Let it go. Let it go. Let Africans stand up and speak like other people have spoken. Like Obasanjo is speaking, saying we cannot hold it anymore.
Alright guys, welcome to my channel. Guys, so Dr. Matsanga made a lot of points here, and the reason why most of the times I like to watch his videos is that he speaks the very truth of the problems that Africans are going through, and more especially he talked deeply on what is currently going on between the Biafran government and the Nigerian government. And I want you guys to pay attention to everything he says here, because there is a lot of points and a lot of lessons that we Biafrans also needs to learn. All right, I know very well that if it were to be a fellow Igbo person, probably they would not be as raw as this man. All right, that's because of the country where we find ourselves, where we don't have access to free speech, while this is our own right. All right, but then thank God that he's now speaking out for Biafrans, even though most of our Igbos are afraid of the Nigerian government. All right, it's arresting them, and that's the reason why we cannot say certain things, because we live in same country. So pay attention to what he said here, and please don't be in a hurry to leave, as this video provides a lot of information with regards to the plans of the Biafran government, all right, to exit in Nigeria, all right. And this man is one person that has promised to make sure that that becomes a reality. So let's take a look at the video, and I'll be right back.
Focus now to West Africa. The region continues to grapple with a complex mix of political transitions, security threats, democratic tests, and human rights concerns. And our regular commentator who's watching events in the region, as always, is political scientist and conflict resolution analyst, Dr. David Matsanga. So good to talk to you. So good to have you on the program. Welcome.
Good morning, Peter. Good morning, Africa. And good morning, the entire world listening and watching us.
Fantastic to hear your voice. So, Dr. Matsanga, let's start in Guinea-Bissau. Leading presidential challenger Fernando Diaz has declared victory before official results have been announced. What does this tell us about the political climate in the country, and how concerned should we be about possible instability? Welcome.
Good morning, Peter. Good morning, Africa. And good morning, the entire world listening and watching us.
Fantastic to hear your voice. So, Dr. Matsanga, let's start in Guinea-Bissau. Leading presidential challenger Fernando Diaz has declared victory before official results have been announced. What does this tell us about the political climate in the country, and how concerned should we be about possible instability?
First of all, I want to state categorically that Africa has not reached a stage where one man, one vote is worth it. Where one man, one vote, apart from South Africa, Ghana, and perhaps the other West African states like Liberia, political party of one man, one vote in Africa is becoming a nightmare. There is nowhere in Africa where you have found the voting goes smoothly, except South Africa, where you have seen physically myself, where people vote and they go back home. So this one declaration is because of failure of institutions. failure of institutions in Africa to conduct elections, to conduct free and fair, transparent elections, is what is going to cause tension across all countries where elections are being conducted. And we expect another problem, a tension, maybe even it reaches to a point where the army has to step in, because you know Guinea-Bissau is a very, very slippery place when it comes to military coups since the assassination of Amir Cabral.
So a story to watch for sure in the coming days. Let's move to Nigeria. I know that you have hardly anything positive to say there about Nigeria, but there are growing concerns about media organizations, declining press freedom. What do you think is fueling this concern, and what does it mean for Nigeria's democracy?
I don't know what you call democracy, Peter, but there is no democracy in a place called Nigeria. In political science, we call this type of state is a country without a country, a state without a state. That means all institutions in Nigeria have collapsed. They have gone kaput. There is nothing that you can say. Which type of country is this where you think the media can be respected when human rights are not respected, when children, younger girls are being abducted, boys are being abducted? They come in a classroom and you have left your child in a class. You don't find your child. All over the whole place, human rights in Southeast. This country should go to its places. This country is Yugoslavia of Africa, of Europe. This country Yugoslavia caused us all these type of problems in Europe until it was separated and removed from each other. Europe is stable. Countries have developed out of Yugoslavia. Nigeria was put together forcefully. Nigeria's behavior does not match the North, does not match the South. The West does not match the East. Let them go. They cannot hold it together. And Africans fear to talk about this. Our colonial boundaries are the ones bringing us the insecurity we see today. Christians being murdered on a daily basis. Moderate Muslims being killed. So what country is this, Peter? I don't have anything positive to say. Have you seen anything positive? You go with Nigerians to Dubai, they have a special line where they say you stand there and you other Africans, you go this way quickly. So what type of, you want me to say Nigeria has got what? There's nothing there. Let it go. Let it go. Let Africans stand up and speak like other people have spoken, like Obasanjo is speaking, saying we cannot hold it anymore. This state, the gate is collapsed, is a pariah state. Thank you.
So let's go to Ghana now. The country's parliament is progressing towards something called the Lifestyle Audit Act, which could scrutinize the wealth and spending of public officials. How significant is this in the fight against corruption in West Africa? And I wonder, will there be any officials left in parliament after lifestyle audits?
Peter, what kills Africa? And you and I, we have been in this field looking for this, talking about corruption. You see, the corruption is the biggest problem that Africa faces. Corruption is the biggest obstacle, challenge that Africa has. Everywhere, across the board, in all African countries, we would have done very well if we killed this monster called corruption. You see, in Singapore, the prime minister there, put people on a firing squad. In Ghana, and he killed, even imprisoned his own brother for life. In Ghana, Rawlings put all the corrupt politicians on firing squad. You remember during Rawlings, you and I were, you were younger journalists. Some of us were already doing so many things. You remember Rawlings put people on a firing squad in Ghana to remove corruption. Ghana picked up. Later on, a man of the army changed Ghana's economy. Now, if you say you are going to do lifestyle audit, everybody will run and hide in Atlantic Ocean, down under the water. Then when things are done, they will come back. So I am telling you, Peter, life audit, who will be left? That's the good question here. But President Mahama, my good brother, friend, a very good person, he listens to people. And he's doing this life audit to make sure that he gets rid of some of the expenditure, some of the corruption, that of the kickbacks that come as awarding contracts. So that is a correct move. But who will remain in the parliament? I think the parliament will remain empty.
And then in the Gambia, authorities say that they're temporarily hosting Cameroon opposition leader Issa Bakary on humanitarian grounds. What do you make of this, and what's the broader political significance of this move?
This also touches, Peter, with the first question of Guinea-Bissau. Every opposition political leader across Africa is running away because we have not reached a stage where we can accept that the winner has gone. Let's congratulate him, stay in the country, rearrange and see your party. So for me, I've told you as an African, a man who has experienced all these military coups, removal of Idi Amin, ourselves, we fought him. I have been there from 1978. I've been in all these activities. I can see the difficulties of Africa. Unless Africa changes its mode, everybody. In Cameroon, for example, Mr. Paul Biya does not want to leave power. The Americans even call him and congratulate him. Yes, France calls him and congratulates him. Yet, Mr. Paul Biya is he has killed over this place 600,000 people, killed 3,000, another 3,000, including my clients, are in jail. But they run to countries that have tried to bring some semblance of unity, like Tanzania. They are being harassed. Yet in southern Cameroon, there are people who cannot even eat, who have not eaten for the last 9 years. They are in the bushes. The children have never gone to school. So having asylum temporarily, that is another one. We are going to end up having very many asylum.
I'm gonna rush us because there's one thing I really do want you to address. There's a letter purportedly written by you to the IC International Criminal Court. Did you write this letter, and are you concerned about NGOs funding violence in Africa?
Yes, I wrote this letter. I did not write a letter. I notified the office of the chief prosecutor on the situation of Tanzania because I knew. I have been there, Peter, you know it. I am the only man south of Sahara that can conquer, that can speak my mind on the question as a legal mind of international law. I want to make it clear that I have been following the pattern of NGOs, foreign-funded NGOs, including one called AfriForm, which is in your country, that has brought chaos, that brings these wars across the region. Vanguard Africa, of Open Society Foundation of George Soros. I have not kept quiet to name them. Me and George Soros, you don't put us in the same house and you find us alive. I don't like them. These are NGOs that fund chaos in the whole of Africa. Look at Tanzania. Look at Mozambique. Look at Kenya. Look at Uganda. Look at all the places where has been turmoil. These organizations are at the forefront, calling upon the younger people to go to the streets. Article 25 of 25C, 25D of the Roma Statute says criminal responsibility for those funding, assisting, equipping, and
we're gonna have to,
logistically arming.
yeah, we're gonna
encouraging
have to
people
leave it
go.
there, Dr. Matsanga. But
So
I think we're gonna have
ICC,
another conversation on this, specifically on this issue, so that we have more time on it. So let's leave it there for the time being. I think we've whet the appetites of many listeners, and let's do a conversation, a proper one on this. But thanks so much
okay.
for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Peter.